it's it's okay. So next, who is next?
Yeah,
जी,
जी,
सांद्रा जी बताइए.
मैं हिंदी पढ़ता है। नहीं
Uh,
नहीं, मैं हिंदी पढ़ती है। हूँ
पढ़ती हूँ, you
हूँ
say. Okay.
जी हाँ, हम हिंदी पढ़ती है।
पढ़ती है. If all of you are girls, then हम हिंदी पढ़ती हैं.
जी
About our mixed group, we will say हम हिंदी पढ़ते हैं. Okay. जी.
जी, तू हिंदी पढ़ पढ़ती है।
Okay.
और तुम तुम हिंदी पढ़ते हैं हो।
पढ़ते
तुम
हो.
हिंदी पढ़ते हो।
Mhm.
और आप हिंदी अ, पढ़ते हैं।
Mhm.
अम, ये
Okay. So this all personal pronouns, you are using them with in this sentence. Okay. That was that's something we learned a few lessons back. Now, and today I wanted you to give some examples with past definite tense, like with non-transitive verbs. Like if we start with this verb parhna, I must tell you one interesting thing about Hindi. Then that the same verb sometimes can be transitive, sometimes non-transitive. Like this parhna, it has two meanings in Hindi. Parhna is to read, like to read a book, kitab parhna. And parhna is to study, like school mein parhna. So in both these cases, the verb will be different. Like if we use it in as to read, kitab parhna. Here it's a transitive verb, sakarmak kriya. Because to read what? A book. So it's a transitive. But when we say to study in the school, in the university, school mein padhna, then it's become non-transitive, because we cannot say no, we can say study what, but in Hindi, in this case, it's non-transitive. Okay, we'll talk about this transitives later. Now, some more of your examples. Okay, जीरा जी, आपने पास्ट डेफिनेट के साथ कुछ एग्जांपल्स लिखे.
मैंने होमवर्क नहीं किया.
लेकिन लेकिन आपने बहुत सही कहा. आपने पास्ट डेफिनेट में सही एकदम मैंने नहीं किया. बहुत बढ़िया. ठीक है, यही आपका होमवर्क माना जाएगा. So we'll count it as your homework. Okay. So who else? किसने homework किया? Who did the homework? जी.
माफ कीजिए, क्या मैं कोशिश कर सकती हूँ?
हेलो किस?
नमस्ते
जी, अनंग जी.
नमस्ते. माफ, हाँ नमस्ते. क्या मैं कोशिश कर सकती हूँ?
बिल्कुल
ถ้าเกิดมัน
कोशिश
คือ
कर
เรื่องเดิม
सकती है आप
เดี๋ยวคุยกันนะเดี๋ยวนี้ทำอันนี้ก่อนนี่ไม่ทัน
ค่ะบ้านเลยแม้คานาแม้คานา แม้คาแม้คานาคาราฮะราฮีฮู am eating the food
yes okay
อะไรฮะแม้คานาแม้คานาคาตีที่ I used to eat food
yes Mhm.
right แม้คานาคาราฮีที่
Mhm.
I was eating the food
Mhm.
แม้คานาคิยา I ate food
again here
right say
no,
yeah แม้
here
แม้
we
คา
use
นาคิยา
Anongji
ฮู้
Anongji
อ่า
here we need to define if it's a transitive verb like kana to eat what so there's a different rule
อ๋อ
how to make it in how to change it in the past definite tense you will say मैंने
แม้คา
खाना खाया
คิยา
खाया
แม่เนคานาคายา
जी
say yeah แม่เนคานาคายา
Mhm. Then for present perfect we will say मैंने खाना खाया है
แม่เนคานาคายาแห่
Mhm. Past perfect
แม่เนคานาคายาแห่
yes and the past perfect is मैंने खाना खाया था
แม่เนคานาคายาทาขายาท่าอ่ะ
yes
โอเคแม่เนคานาขายาท่า
Mhm. What we need
โอ
to
เค
understand
มหา
about
ทยวัตเซอร์
what we need to understand about this transitive verb
Can I just have one question, please?
yes
So actually, when you say mene khana khaya hai, it means that you finish the action and in the present now, right?
yes so the same
And
as we
then
use
when you
this
say yes, and then when you say mene khana khaya tha, so you mean finish the action in the past.
in the
But
past
my question is when I say mene khana khaya, the action was finished when? Because we don't have the whole now to indicate that. This is my questions.
मैंने खाना खाया that means one time action in the past when you are telling about what you did for example I woke up I washed I had a wash I had a breakfast when you just how to say when you just retelling all the deeds which were made in some subsequence in some order so then it's only like past definite without any perfect tense like when in English we say I came that's just to say that I came it has nothing to do with the result like
Okay.
I have come it means for now I am here so I have come I had come like yesterday at this time I had come so it means that the action was finished by that time in the past
Okay.
I came it just depends on the context you can just tell about many things you did and that will be there without perfect tense
Okay, thank you.
तो और कोई anyone else wants to give an example
नमस्कार
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 बताइए
I have to make sentences in the present, the past, the present, past, and future.
No, look.
Just I arrived, that's why
2 weeks
I don't
before.
know.
2 weeks before, when we were having our class, we were learning this past definite tense, and I asked you to make some sentences about what you did in the past one-time action, like I came, I saw, I won. So this kind of sentences using only non-transitive verbs.
Okay.
That was the assignment. If you
Okay.
remember, but you can try right now, or you can read whatever you have prepared.
Okay. सुबह में संस्थान गए थे.
Sansthan gai thi. Gai thi, you're saying in past perfect. It means that you're telling about subah, and today is evening, and you are just
I arrived.
remembering what you have done during this day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you are telling the story of the whole day, you can say मैं संस्थान गई.
Okay. मैं संस्थान गई. Oh, I don't have to say the time. I don't need to say.
No, you can. सुबह मैं संस्थान गई, मैं दोस्तों से मिली.
Okay, okay. Okay. सुबह में संस्थान गई और दोस्तों के साथ मिली. जी हाँ.
अच्छा, ठीक है, बढ़िया. गई, मिली, both verbs are non-transitive, so it's very correct. Anyone else? Okay, so maybe let's start the new grammar. Like the same lesson we had 2 weeks before, but we did not finish it, for the transitive verbs. You remember we were reading this मैं आया, हम आए, तुम आए, and we were saying that all verbs which mean movement, they are usually non-transitive. But when a verb has a direct object, then it becomes transitive, like देखना. देखना, to see what? देखना क्या? पढ़ना. Here I was telling you it has two meanings, but here we will use it in the meaning to read. To read. To read what? Okay. And लिखना. लिखना is to write. The same thing. To write what? These are transitive verbs, sakarmak kriya. And with transitive verbs, we'll need to use another postposition. This postposition is ne. Ne. If you want to say in past definite that, for example, I saw a house. Makan is a house. We'll say मैंने मकान देखा. मैंने मकान देखा. Now, why we are saying dekha in this in masculine gender? It has nothing to do with my gender, with the gender of who is speaking. Because in this case, the gender depends on the object. Like makan is masculine, so मैंने मकान देखा. If we take another noun like film film in Hindi is feminine gender, we will say मैंने film देखी. So in this case, in past definite tense, when we use transitive verbs, from the sentence we cannot recognize the gender of the speaker. So we, no matter who is speaking, everyone will say मैंने मकान देखा, मैंने film देखी, because this gender will be dependent on the object, the gender of the object. Then, if I saw many countries, like we have plural, and all of these plural nouns are of masculine gender, we say मैंने बहुत देश देखे. मैंने बहुत देश देखे. Right? When we have plenty of objects, of many objects of feminine gender, like gari. Gari is a car. I saw some cars. Right? मैंने कई गाड़ियां. Garia, it's a plural form of this feminine nouns. Dekhi. Here we'll put this form of this verb like in plural feminine or past definitely. मैंने कई गाड़ियां देखी.
I just have one question. So as you mentioned that when we put ne, so we don't know the gender of
Yes.
the subject, right?
Yes.
So afterwards, if I put ko after the objects, for example, मैंने film को देखा. So actually, I will
yes.
change to देखा again. In this case, I don't know the gender from the subject and then don't know the gender from the object. And how
Yes.
I can identify of the gender of the two subject and object actually, right?
Exactly. There are two ways of saying these sentences, but
Mhm.
for our lesson, I chose only this direct connection between the verb and the object, so not to make it too complicated. Of course, we can say also मैंने मकान को देखा. मैंने मकान को देखा. मैंने फिल्म को, then again it will be देखा. When we get this core in this kind of sentences, when we use this accusative case with the object, then the verb will always be in masculine gender. Will always be in this form, like देखा. मैंने मकान देखा. मैंने बहुत देशों को देखा. मैंने कई गाड़ियों को देखा.
Yeah, but in daily life, we did not say that, right? We should delete the ko for the object.
It depends. There is not such a strict rule when you should use it. It's just an alternative. It's just another option of saying the same thing. Sometimes when you feel it's better to say with ko, you can say it. What is usually said, what is usually taught? If we are talking about non-living things, about things which are just things, like, then we usually drop this ko. We say मैंने मकान देखा. मैंने film देखी.
Okay.
But we can see a person as well. We can see a human as well. So with living beings, usually we use ko, like we say,
Okay.
मैंने मैंने लड़के को देखा, मैंने लड़की को देखा.
Okay.
So talking about people or animals, sometimes it's not that universal rule, because there are exceptions in this also. For example, if in Indian tradition, when marriages are being made by two families, so there is a saying like "ladki dekhna." When this boy's family comes to the girl's house to see their future daughter-in-law, so there are some common sayings where this ko is dropped, even concerning humans. Like they will say "Hamne ladki dekhi," but usually when we talk about human beings, we use this ko. So this is the case, the best way to remember when to use it or when to not to use. Non-living beings without ko, and living beings with ko.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so then in yesterday's lesson, the fourth lesson that I sent you, you saw that we used these perfect tenses as well, not only this past definite, like, right? That's because I wanted you to get the complete vision of using this past definite form of the verbs, like what we were talking in the beginning. Maine makan dekha, that's I just saw a house. Like if you say मैंने मकान देखा है, this is what we call present perfect. I have seen the house and I have the result of seeing that house. I have the image of that seen house in my mind for now. Here we are not talking about the particular time when I saw it, only the result which I have now as my experience of having seen the house. So, मैंने मकान देखा है. Like, I may ask you, have you seen that house near your institute? आपने वो मकान देखा है? So this is present perfect. I'm just asking about you having the experience of seeing that. But this first case, that's when you are telling, you're saying, while I was coming to my institute, I saw a house. मैं क्लास में आ रहा था और मैंने एक मकान देखा. So you are telling about some actions which were happening there in the past, and it will be just past definite tense. When we put hai, it becomes present perfect. Now, why this hai? What is it? What does it depend on? Like, hai also depends on makan. If it's one object, one noun in singular, we'll say मैंने मकान देखा है. In this case, if we we are talking about plural, like मैंने बहुत देश देखे. I saw many countries. If I want to say it in present perfect, like I have seen many countries. I will say हैं in the plural, because here we have बहुत देश. We have plural object. Right? So this will be हैं. Right?
Okay, so consequently, so it means that when they have the name, the hair can be only in two form, hair in singular and hair in plurals.
Yes,
So
yes.
you don't have who, you don't have who, anything others than hair, right?
Yeah, that's only with non-transitive verbs, like
Okay.
तुम आए हो, मैं आया हूँ.
Mhm.
There you will use all the variations of honour. But
Mhm.
in this, in grammar, it's called something like ergative case, like we put this ne,
Mhm.
and only the object matters. Only this object's grammar defines this verb he. But it can be only like the third person, like we are saying about मैंने मकान देखा, गाड़ी देखी, film देखी. It will all be only he or he.
Okay.
The same when we say about past perfect, like till some particular time in the past, we already had done something. Then we'll say मैंने मकान देखा था. And again, था because makan, because it's singular. Because it's masculine and singular. Here, in past perfect, some gender difference will come. Because if about the film, we say like मैंने film देखी है. I have seen, I have watched the film. But so here will be the same as मैंने मकान देखा है, मैंने film देखी है. Like in है, in present tense, it does not have this gender difference. Like, but in past perfect, we'll say मैंने film देखी थी. So here we'll count this T as for feminine gender because film is feminine. And with plurals, the same, we'll say मैंने बहुत देश देखे थे, because देश masculine and plural. So मैंने बहुत देश देखे थे. I had seen many countries. For example, even before coming to India, I had already seen many countries. So that's the example where we use this tense. Before something happened in the past, something else had already happened. So मैंने बहुत देश देखे थे. The same here. मैंने कई गाड़ियां देखी.
Excuse me.
Yes.
For female, it's the same. मैंने बहुत देश देखे थे.
You mean if a female is speaking, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same. It's
Okay.
with transitive verbs, it's all the same. As I said, it does not depend on the gender of the speaker.
Okay.
This is the thing about transitive verbs. We should remember that all this tha, thi, dekha, dekhi, it depends only on the object. What we saw, what we did, what we read.
Okay.
Like while I was
Okay.
coming here, I saw a few cars. Like मैंने कई गाड़ियां देखी.
Okay.
Garia is feminine, so no matter who speaks, we'll say मैंने गाड़ियां देखी.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
if I say, for example, I'm choosing a car for myself, and I will say, I have seen some cars, but have not chosen yet, but I have seen. Right? मैंने कई गाड़ियां देखी हैं.
Okay.
Here will be plural form of hona because garia. It's plural. If the same thing I'm saying about what happened, for example, day before yesterday, like yesterday I bought a car, but before that I had seen some cars. Right?
गाड़ियाँ देखी थे.
He here will have he because garia.
Because it's feminine.
Feminine, right. So today we complete our tenses with two more tenses, like perfect tenses, right? On the basis of past definite tense, on the basis of मैंने मकान देखा, we've learned to make two other forms. मैंने मकान देखा है, मैंने मकान देखा था. And we tried to understand in which context we use all these three, right? If we compare it with English, that's very easy. Whenever in English you say you use this present perfect, that's मैंने देखा है. Whenever it's past perfect, मैंने देखा था. So let's make the same thing with, I gave here example for मैं, and here we can try to make sentences like हमने देखा. So the same, हमने मकान देखा, हमने मकान देखा है, हमने मकान देखा था. No matter if the speaker is one or they are many, the verbs will always depend on the object.
Excuse me, if I have seen too many shops, how I can
I have seen many shops.
Yeah.
So you just say मैंने बहुत दुकानें
Okay.
देखी.
Okay.
देखी.
Yeah.
One दुकान देखी, दुकानें देखी. And again, if you said I have seen, right? So it will be
Yeah.
that देखी हैं. मैंने बहुत दुकानें देखी हैं.
Okay.
Mhm. Now, with this postposition ne, what we should remember here, you see that the main pronoun does not change before ne. Like we say me in nominative case, the same we will say mene. We will not change me into its indirect form. We know the indirect form, right? What is the indirect form of me?
Mush, mushe,
Muj.
मुझे
mushe. Right.
Mujhe is, it's already with postposition. Mujhe is mujhko. That's accusative case. But indirect form of me is muj. When you say,
Muj.
remember we were saying muj me, muj par, muj se. But with ne, it does not change this way. It remains me, ne.
And how's about, for example, when I say in the past that I like to go to India, I should start the verb with mushe, and then in the past I should put ne after mushe, right?
No, no. But that's not past definite case. What you are trying to say, I wanted to go to India, right?
Yes, if I want to say it in the past, not now. Now I went already, but in the past, I really want to go to India. And then how I can make the sentence, ne and then mushe, just together.
Okay, how you will say it in the present tense? I want to go.
So, mushe parat jana jaye. This is in present tense, right?
Jana.
Yes. Jaye.
Let's see. But this, it does not mean that I want to go to India. It means that I need to go to India.
Yeah.
I need.
But I want to say I need to go to India in the past. For example, last 3 years, I need to go to India, for example. And then how I can change this sentence to the past tense.
If you want to make it in the past, you just put this tha. Mujhe Bharat jana chahiye tha.
Okay.
Tha will depend on this verb, infinitive verb. Like, mujhe Bharat jana chahiye tha. Mujhe Bharat jana tha. Even.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, please.
If I say मुझे भारत जाना चाहती थी, or in case of him, मुझे भारत जाना ना, for him it's okay, but for me जाना चाहती थी.
These are different things. See, chahiye is, we cannot translate it in one word. It's like it is needed. So if we translate this sentence directly, it means to me, to go to India, because mujhe means to me, like it's an accusative case.
Yes.
Bharat jana, it's actually jana is a subject in this sentence.
Yeah.
Is needed, chahiye, is or here was needed, right?
Yeah.
We don't say here I wanted. But if you want to say like I want to go to India, and you want to make yourself as the subject, then you will not use this construction. You will say मैं भारत जाना चाहता हूँ. Or chahti, you will say हूँ. Here you will use the verb chahti, chahna. Chahna is to want.
Okay.
Chahiye is not a verb. So it's an objective construction. Like mujhe is not the subject. It's like an object to whom something is being done, to whom something is being felt. मैं भारत जाना चाहती हूँ, मैं भारत जाना चाहती थी, right? Like past simple. मैं भारत जाना चाहती थी. But if you want to say it as one-time action, for example, I felt a desire to go to India, and it was something like one-time thing, then you will say, मैंने भारत जाना चाहा. So the same rule as we were making these sentences, मैंने मकान देखा, मैंने भारत जाना चाहा. The difference will be that here we used simple sentences with one object, and it was like it was a noun, like makan, film, desh, garia. All these are nouns. We used them for these simple examples. But in this sentence, the object is a verb, jana. मैंने जाना चाहा. So it's also possible, but it's a bit more complicated grammar. That's why we started with this, with simple.
Okay.
But even this you can say in one time action. You can say मैंने भारत चाहा, मैंने भारत जाना चाहा. If it you can grammatically you can put it into present perfect, like मैंने भारत जाना चाहा है. Till now I have had this desire to go to India. मैंने भारत जाना चाहा है.
Okay.
So there was a period in my life when I wanted to go to India. It has already, I hope it's not like that, but grammatically we can say if now I have already stopped wanting to go to India. मैंने भारत जाना चाहा था, like in the past. So the same rule with ne, but here we have the verb as the object, jana. Okay, so let's see what we were, what I was saying, that although ne is a postposition, we don't change me into indirect form, and with some other pronouns it's the same. Like hum, we say हमने देखा, हमने पढ़ा, हमने लिखा, and whatever, all these forms, every verb you can see here has 4 forms. For these 4 cases, which we put into sentences with मैं. मैंने मकान देखा, देखी, देखे, देखी. So the same. हमने पढ़ा, पढ़ी, पढ़े, पढ़ी, लिखा, लिखी, लिखे, लिखी. The same. The main thing now is just pay attention to हमने. Ham also does not change into any other form, like it remains हमने. The same with tu. You know that the indirect form of tu is तुझ. तुझ में, तुझ से, तुझ पर. But we will not say तुझने. We will say तूने. तूने मकान देखा, तुमने किताब पढ़ी, तूने चिट्ठी लिखी. with tum, the same. That's why I wrote here all personal pronouns as we use them with the postposition ne, so that you can see which of them change and which don't. Like tune, tumne, hamne, mene, they don't change. Ap, apne, again, it does not change into any other form. Apne dekha, apne kaha, apne likha. But when we come to the third person, like yeh, veh, ye, they. So here some changes come. Here we will say isne. For year, we'll say isne dekha, isne padha, isne likha. For veh, we'll say usne. Usne. And we already know that yeh, veh have their indirect forms like is, us. And we know that ye, ve, in the plural, they have their indirect forms like in, un, right? But in the case with this postposition ne, ye or ve, they got different, more complicated forms. Like if we want to say they saw, using the pronoun ye, we'll say inhone, not in ne, but inhone. Inhone makan dekha. Inhone film dekhi. इन्होंने बहुत देश देखे. इन्होंने कई गाड़ियां देखी. So here comes a bit of complication because it's not usual. Right? It's even more than an indirect form. It's a complicated indirect form. And the same with ve. We will not say unne. We'll say unhone. उन्होंने देखा, उन्होंने पढ़ा, उन्होंने लिखा. Now, every rule has some exceptions. Like in Hindi में अपवाद, exceptions, right? Not all the verbs change in the same way for the past definite tense. Like very frequently used verb karna, we will not say kara, kari, kare. Though some people do say it, that's a kind of informal speech. Sometimes they use like this, but the real forms will be kiya, ki, kiye, ki. Like हमने काम किया. Will not say करा. हमने काम किया. हमने मिलकर यह काम किया. We did this work together. Some other frequently used verbs like lena, to take, and dena, to give. They also have this unusual kind of changing into past definite tense. Like he or she took my book, we'll say उसने मेरी किताब ली. So Lena has this form like लिया, ली, लिए, ली. If we say kitab, it's feminine, so we take li, it's singular feminine. So he took my book. उसने मेरी किताब ली. Dena is the same. The same rule as for Lena, it will change like dia, di, die, di. For example, we say they gave us 2 days, right? उन्होंने हमें, this form which we have just learned, उन्होंने हमें, to us, 2 दिन दिए. Diye because it's plural masculine. उन्होंने हमें 2 दिन दिए. The same forms will have these verbs like pina, Gina, Sina. So they are similar in their main forms. So they have similar forms in the past definite. So you have this lesson. You can read it again with all the examples and try to understand. And now we don't have much time, but let's come to our last lesson, this 4th lesson, where I just gave you the example to practice. With each personal pronoun, we made a sentence and we used it in every known tense. In all the tenses we can use. Like for example, with pronoun मैं, we say मैं पार्क में घूमता हूँ or पार्क में घूमती हूँ, right? This is present simple. What else we can say? We can say present continuous. मैं पार्क में घूम रहा हूँ or घूम रही हूँ. We can say in past simple, मैं पार्क में घूमता था. I used to walk in the park. Or घूमती थी. So these are more known to you, more familiar, these 4 tenses. And now we come to definite tenses. Like if one time I walked in the park, I say मैं park में घूमा. It's a non-transitive verb. That's why the form of the verb depends on the speaker. मैं park में घूमा. Or you say मैं park में घूमी. Now we can make present perfect. मैं park में घूमा हूँ. मैं park में घूमी हूँ. I have walked in the park. And we can say the past perfect, like मैं park में घूमा था. Before something happened, I had walked in the park. मैं park में घूमा था. So let's count 7 different tenses we already can use. What is left is only the future tense, which you will learn later. But present and past, everything you can say in these 7 tenses, in these 7 kinds of sentences. Of course, there are some aspects like conditional moods, like some other things with like imperatives. There are ways of saying, asking somebody to do something. There will be some different forms of the verb. But talking about pure tenses, so here in these 7 cases, all the present and all the past is yours. So now you can practice it. And here, with every personal pronoun, you have this example, like हम चाय पीते हैं, हम चाय पी रहे हैं, हम चाय पीते थे, हम चाय पी रहे थे, हमने चाय पी. Here comes ne because pina is a transitive verb. To drink what, right? So here comes ne. We say pi because chai is feminine. हमने चाय पी है, we have drunk tea. हमने चाय पी थी, we had drunk tea. With every pronoun you can read and practice this kind of tenses. Right? Somebody today was giving the example of phal khana. Acha, Liya ji, aap bata rahi thi phal khana. You were saying मैं फल खाती हूँ in the beginning of the lesson, right? You were giving this example. So here there is one example about with this verb फल खाना, but I took the pronoun tu. You can say tu फल खाता है, खाते हैं, खा रहा है, खाता था, खा रहा था, तूने फल खाया, तूने फल खाया है, तूने फल खाया था. In these 7 cases, you can see the difference between the tenses in the English translations, right? So the same with tum, आप, and the third person, like ye, वह, ye, वे. So I hope this will be my contribution into your course, that you will catch this grammar of the verbs and be able to use all these 7 sentences. I hope it's more or less clear in which cases what tense and what form of verbs we use. These materials are with you. From next time, I think Vandanaji will be teaching you, if only there is no change in our schedule. Otherwise, I can take more lessons. But till now, just to make some conclusions or to sum up, we can say that we have learned all the main tenses of the verb except the future tense. We have learned the indirect forms of pronouns. You have 4 sheets of lessons, which I can again send all of them if by chance somebody has not saved it. And from this material of these 4 lessons, you can construct your grammar into something effective and correct. So thank you very much to all of you. आपको बहुत बहुत सफलता मिले. Wish you best of luck, and I hope we will meet again.
जी हाँ
बहुत
बिल्कुल
बहुत धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद.
बहुत धन्यवाद सर. बहुत धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद जी.
Sorry if it was too complicated or maybe not too clear, but I tried to make your speaking correct. Right?
जी
We need to have this basis. The grammar basis is very important.
जी हाँ.
जी, धन्यवाद. मिलेंगे. नमस्ते.
नमस्कार आप सभी को. धन्यवाद जी.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद जी.
नमस्ते. तो वंदना जी, आप हैं?